Today I made a lentil soup. Here you are seeing masoor lentils, urad lentils, mung beans, and we have red lentils. And it's really important to wash lentils and beans very, very, very well. You're gonna keep rinsing out the water, keep washing, rinsing until the water runs clear. And then and I did this separately with each type of lentil that I used. And then after it started to run clear, I kept the bowl filled with clear water, and then I let it sit for about an hour. Again, I rinsed the water. Again, I added new water, and again, I rinsed it. You see here tomatoes and onions. I have curry leaves, that's optional. And then I just cut up some carrots. You can really use pretty much any vegetable that you have available. As always, we're using one of our grocery store produce bags. I just steal like 10 or 15 every time I go. That way I use them for my trash as I'm cooking. I have turkey sausage. Now we're going to use very little of this, and I'll tell you why in a moment. That has potentially inflammatory effects, so we're not going to be using it to really add, like, make this a meat dish. It's just to add a little bit of flavor. Really have to be careful with smoked and like cured meats like bacon and sausage and things like that. Okay, so again, showing our different lentils and our mung bean. We're using black pepper, cumin seeds. Oh, jaguar? We have some minced
I don't remember
garlic,
what we were talking about.
ginger
Jaguar.
paste. You could also just mince and grate your own or chop up your own garlic. Turmeric. Turmeric is highly anti-inflammatory. And we have some cardamom there. Cloves. We have methi or fenugreek seeds. And we're using our better than bouillon. Now, as you see here, I thought I had taken out the chicken one. I took out the beef one. So I put that back in the fridge and I got out the chicken one. Now, this is my own homemade rasam powder, R-A-S-A-M, I guess. Rasam powder. Now, you can buy rasam powder ready-made at any Indian grocery store. It's going to cost about $1, maybe $1.50 for like 50 servings. Seriously. Okay, so we're just going to use some neutral flavored oil. We do need a little bit of oil in here so we can fry up our onions and stuff like that, but we want to use as little as possible. So in goes our oil. This is on medium heat. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And in goes our turmeric, cloves, cardamom, methi seeds, and okay, now I've really quickly I added my onions and my curry leaves because I don't want my spices to burn. They can burn really quickly. And as you see, we're using very little turkey sausage. Again, it's mostly just about adding a little bit of flavor. My man does have early onset arthritis, and I do believe it probably is because he didn't have the best diet ever. You know, like a lot of Americans, he ate the American diet. And so he is suffering from, he doesn't have any sugar problems, alhamdulillah, but he does have a little bit of hypertension or a high blood pressure, so I've been working with him on that. And also just making sure that he gets enough fiber in his diet. This is a very high fiber meal. Okay, going in with some ginger paste and some garlic paste. Minced garlic. You can feel free to add more of this if you'd like. I almost don't feel like you can overdo garlic. But yeah, I feel that it is my responsibility, as I have decided that I'm going to be the home cook, to help him with that. Okay, so now you see I've heated some water in the microwave, and you'll see in a moment what that's for. Dumping in our tomatoes and our carrots. Gonna stir those in. You may have to play around with your heat. Okay, so with that water that I heated in the microwave, I'm going to add some of my better than bouillon chicken base. And let it dissolve in that water. Now I have rinsed and drained all of my different lentils and my mung bean, and I've added it now to the pot. Oh, my pot's spinning around a little bit on me there. Doing this with my hands. Okay, so we're just going to stir it up here. Now I'm adding my rasam powder. I am adding quite a bit. I think you should add little by little, but you can probably eat more of this than you think. I would encourage you to try to use about the amount that I did if you use this same amount of other ingredients. Okay, so there's our better than bouillon chicken base, which kind of dissolved into that water. The great thing about that is that it doesn't just have some salt in it, but it also has some great herbal notes, and it'll add some really nice flavor there. Okay, well, let's stir this up. Now, we're going to keep this on about a medium heat until we see the lentils water kind of starting to bubble up, boil. And then when it does, we can reduce the heat quite a lot and just let this simmer. And I think I left it simmering for, let's see, it says 11:04 there. I definitely left it simmering for about 45 minutes after it reached the boil. I did stir it periodically also. And, you know, as I always say, it's very easy to keep something clean when you never made it dirty in the first place. So we were careful moving. We didn't have to rush. We went to the trash can only once because we did have our bag there on the countertop. That's really important. You don't want to be going back and forth to a trash can. That's how spills and messes are made, right? And I also rinsed out my sink as I washed my dishes. Okay, now here you can see I have taken some cool water from the tap, and I'm using a slotted spoon to remove some of my already well-cooked lentil soup. And the reason that I used tap water, cool water from the tap, is that it's going to cool down quickly, so I can add some of this to the blender. If you didn't have a slotted spoon, no problem. You can just take the water as it is from the soup, but it is going to take more time to cool off because you don't want to put a very hot liquid into your blender. Now, you don't have to do this. This is an optional step. But if you do, it's going to add a nice creaminess, like a thickness to your soup. And it's kind of a creaminess that didn't require any cream, right? So you're not adding any extra calories. You're just giving a nice thick effect that a cream would do. Taste test. This tasted fantastic. I was so proud of this. So I ladled this into a bowl for Eric for his lunch. And I served this with some basmati rice, a plain green salad, this might surprise you, but just a little bit of Parmesan is great here. If you have a real Parmesan rind, Parmigiano Reggiano rind, you can definitely add it to your soup at this time. I didn't have that, so just a little bit of this, and I topped it with a little cilantro. The Parmesan gives it a nice umami flavor. Okay, I have very strong opinions about dessert. Sweet treats are nice. They go with dinner. Lunchtime doesn't really merit desserts, sweet things. If you are going to have a little sweet treat after your lunch, make sure it's a little sweet treat, okay? We don't want to undo our health. So I give him a choice of either one of these little Heath bars or a something small. So that's our soup. I hope you liked it.